Hello and welcome to Gardening at 58 North. In this video I'd like to give you another update of my Ficus benjamina bonsai plant here. So the last time I gave you an update, I think I was just putting the wires on and wiring it up just to shape the branches into a nicer shape. This video is going to be kind of similar, but I'll give you an update of how it's done. So in the last video you saw it probably didn't have many leaves, but as you can see now it's leafed up nicely. That's because I defoliated it to try and reduce the leaf size and just kind of reduce the vigour of the plant so we don't get any strong suckers as well. Now the leaf size did reduce, but the new leaves are actually starting to get big again, so it didn't reduce the leaf size for long. And you can see it hasn't completely leafed up yet, it's still quite sparse with the leaves. See from certain angles like that it looks quite bold. Hopefully it'll leaf up a bit more soon, but it's had the desired effect. And if you remember in the other video I didn't defoliate the lower two branches to try and thicken them up, and they have actually thickened up lots, a lot more than I was expecting. And it's only been about a month or so since I wired it, I think, and I've been very busy so I wasn't able to unwire it and I've left it too long. But you can already see on the lower branch here it's already got scars there where the wire used to be, so that's definitely thickened up a lot more than I was expecting. I didn't think after a few weeks it would thicken up enough to leave such big scars, but hopefully it'll grow out of them and it won't be a big issue. Hopefully it'll just be a slight mark on the bark. So in this video what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the existing wires because the branches have now set and they will stay in that position because they've been held there for at least a month, maybe a month and a half now. And then after that what I'm going to do is just check the shape of the other branches and wire them up. So for example I have the slightly higher one up here. You can see it's coming up quite vigorously. What I need to do is bend that down just to give it a slightly nicer shape. Some of the other ones are maybe crossing a bit, like here you can see they're kind of growing in together, these three, so I need to pull them out, get a bit of better spacing on them so that you don't have three branches all growing together. And there's a few other things like that. So I'll just put it on time lapse now and I'll just start taking off all the old wires so we can see what we're working with. So there we are, that's all the wires taken off. I've left this one down the bottom here because I'm actually planning to still use this anchor point to pull this branch a bit further down. So I've left that, but I've rewound it so it's no longer cutting in at the same place. It's going to cut in at a slightly different place so it doesn't cut any deeper where it's already been thickening up. So I'm just going to use this one to actually pull this one down a little bit. This one here I think. Just so you're there. Pull this branch down, just using that low one as an anchor point. So I'm just going to put it up, wrap it around a few times. I'll do what I did last time. So you can see I've already put a twist in the wire, and the idea of that is you just keep twisting this and it tightens it up. Now I was supposed to do this every now and again before, but I said I was very busy and I kind of neglected it, so I wasn't able to slowly increase the pressure, but at least do it a bit now. Hopefully I'll remember this time to keep wrapping it up, keep twisting it. So that's it, held a bit lower. I'll probably reposition it because at the moment it's directly over the top, but I'll do that another time. I'll get it lower first and then I'll move it to the side. And so there's a few other branches that I might want to reposition slightly, such as this one that's sticking up. So I'll just start it off at the bottom, at a nice thick joint like that, wrap around the wire and then continue all the way along. Make sure it's quite tight but not super tight, because if it's really tight then it will cut in and it will start to grow into it straight away. But it needs to be firm enough that it will actually hold the branch in the position you want it to be held in. So I'm just going to wrap it all the way up to the end as far as I can. It does get quite fiddly when you get to the end of the branches because they're very thin, so you have to put your thumb behind or your finger to support it a little. So that's it wrapped, and now I can just simply bend the wire and the branch will stay in the exact position that I want it to. So I'll just bend it down like that, and then reposition it maybe more a bit this way. There we are. I think that looks a bit better. I'll do that the same with a few of these other ones, and There we are, I think that's enough wiring for now. So what I need to do now is what I will do is I will feed the plant, because I haven't actually fed this since I potted it up in this compost. That's been about a year now, I think, that I've had it in the bonsai pot. So I need to feed it, get it to put on a bit more strong growth. Once it puts on some growth and some more leaves, it'll hopefully fill out nicely. And I'll then do a bit of light pruning in maybe a month's time, just to keep the shape nice. So for example, this bottom one here is getting quite large now. I'd like to take the bottom branch back a little bit just to make it in proportion with the rest of the tree, because naturally you'd have shorter branches at the bottom and then they get larger as it goes up, and the very top ones will be small again. So I'm wanting to have the medium branch, the middle branches are the biggest ones, and the lower ones just quite short branches. But I'm allowing this to grow a little bit because I'm wanting the trunk to taper more, and if you allow this branch to thicken up, the lower part of the trunk will thicken up, and then you'll have a nicer taper. So it's doing quite well. The root system is doing alright. I'll see if I can get it out and show you how it's doing. So there we are. Got quite a lot of roots in there. Doesn't have a lot of fresh roots. A lot of them are quite old roots, but I think that's because it's been defoliated, so it doesn't have many leaves at the moment. But once it gets going, it should grow quite a lot of new healthy roots, especially if I start feeding it. So what I'm thinking I'll also do soon is I'll probably top up the compost level. You can see it's getting quite low. When I do that, I'll probably top it up from underneath, so I'll lift up the plant, scrape away some more of the compost from around the roots here, so I can get a bit more of these interesting roots here. I've got quite a nice one here. You can see it's kind of coming out like a buttress root, so I can get some more buttress roots. That'll be good. I've also got quite a few lumps on the bark, which is probably more aerial roots trying to grow, so I might think of a way to maybe encourage more aerial roots and get some more buttressing. Generally I'm quite happy with how it looks at the moment. Once it's foliated up a bit more, as I said, I'll hope to do a bit more pruning. It hasn't branched as much as I was hoping it would branch with the defoliating, but you can see that there are quite a few new shoots, like this one here coming out of a thick stem, and this one as well. It started to put on a few new shoots. Also this one over here, you can see an extra shoot that's come out of the main trunk there. So I'm hoping to get a bit more branching, especially on some of the ones like this. You can see it's quite a long branch and it only forks into two. Hopefully I can get some more. Well, there's a third one here, but it's quite straggly. I have to get more branching. Like to this one also. You can see it's not branching much, but it's just starting to. So hopefully with a bit of feeding and a bit more of the summer left, it's got about another 2 or 3 weeks of good weather. Hopefully it'll do well. But that's it for now, and I'll just keep you guys updated as how it progresses.